Hi everyone, welcome back. A couple of days ago we roasted a chicken, ran through that on the vlog. We got a lot of really good feedback for that. So thanks for everyone who watched it and thanks for the great comments. One of the things that we were asked about is, what we would do with the chicken. We made some fresh chicken stock, which I've created on a separate vlog that I'll be posting. What I'm going to do today is use some of that chicken stock. And as it's winter, it's pretty cold here right now. I think when I got up this morning, it was around about -6 outside, so pretty chilly. We're going to make a nice soup using that chicken stock, and we're going to use what we've got here on the chopping board. We've got a butternut squash, about 850 grams, onion, about 250 grams, sweet potato, we've got about 350 grams, 150 grams of nice carrots, and a few cloves of garlic, as many as you want to put in. We will add a few little spices to it as well, maybe a chili. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to peel and chop these vegetables, pop them in an oven tray, and put them into a nice hot oven. For me, fan oven at around about 200 degrees. And we're just going to cook those off a little so they just char a little bit and get that lovely caramelization going. Then we'll pop them into a pan, add the chicken stock, simmer that, probably for about an hour tops, just gentle simmer. And then we can get our mixer wand into the soup and mix it all up so we get a lovely smooth soup that we can add some creme fraiche to or whatever we'd like. So I'm going to get going on sorting out these veg. When you come back, they'll all be peeled and chopped and we'll go on from there. So I've peeled all the veg, got that ready. This little peeler that I have is actually very handy for doing like a squash or pumpkin. It does, or it is able to just get a very thin layer of that outer skin off. The reason I've done that, you don't have to peel the squash, but I found the last couple of times I've made this, when I left the peel on, even after roasting a bit, it didn't quite blend up as nicely as I wanted it to, so I ended up with a few lumps rather than a nice smooth soup, which is what I'm aiming for with this one. So I'm going to get on with chopping these up, and the next time you see these, we'll put them in the oven tray, ready to roast. So I've peeled and diced almost everything, put it in the oven tray here. I'm just going to add the last piece of garlic. Just want to show you a nice easy way to get the skin off the garlic. I don't want the skin on because when I blend it, I don't want that skin in there. So just tap that, and then the skin, just pull away, nice and easy. That can then go in. Just an easy way to do that. I'm going to add one whole red chili. I'm going to chop this top off now. This is frozen, the reason being I tend to buy these in batch as and when I can, they're not always available. So I'll buy a bag full, leave them whole, put them in the freezer, they're absolutely fine. And then you can just chop them up. I'm going to leave the seeds in, I want a little bit of heat in. These particular chilies aren't that hot. If you like it hotter, maybe use a Scotch bonnet or one of the bird's eye chilies, Thai style chili. Try a little bit of extra heat. And then what we're going to do with this, I'm going to add a little bit of bird's eye chili flakes. Not too much, just a little bit in there. Just give it a little bit of warmth, especially with it being a winter soup. Sprinkle those on. I've got some caraway seeds. Again, just to add a little flavour dimension. And probably going to use about a teaspoon of those. And some fennel seeds. Again, about a teaspoon. And the bird's eye chili flakes, I probably use about half a teaspoon of those, given that I've added the chili in. And I can always add a little bit more to the dish itself when I've cooked it. So about a teaspoon of the fennel seeds. A little bit of this molten sea salt. All over. Again, probably about a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add the equivalent of probably about a tablespoon or so of oil, not too much. I just want these to caramelise a little in the oven. And just to repeat, the oven has been put on at fan to 200 degrees Celsius. And these are going to go in for between 20 minutes and half an hour. I'll keep an eye on them, make sure that they're not burning. I want them to caramelise, but I don't want them to char too much. So we'll pop these in the oven now and have a look at them when they come back out. So just while the veg are in the oven, this is the chicken stock that we made from the carcass of the chicken that we roasted in our previous vlog. And very, very simple to do. I will be posting a vlog on that, but just a quick description while the veg is in the oven. Take some, again, sacrificial veg. We took, again, celery, onion, carrot. I put that in the base of a pan, put the chicken carcass on top after I'd stripped all the meat off of the carcass first. I kept that to one side. I added a couple of star anise, about 4 cloves, a couple of bay leaves, some fennel seeds, caraway seeds, and 1 chilli that I just cut through the centre. Left the seeds in, but didn't chop it up into pieces. Put in some water with that, and then I simmered that for about an hour and a half. Strained it, and what we're left with is a lovely flavoured stock that you can use, as we are now, for this delicious soup, butternut squash and sweet potato soup. Other things you can use it for, which are fantastic, the kids love it, is use this when you're boiling rice. Instead of using water, use some of this stock. It just adds a whole new flavour dimension to the rice. Use it when you're cooking pasta. Even just a cup of this on a cold winter's day is very warming and delicious. So very easy to do, very versatile. If you're not going to use it all straight away, you can easily bag this up, put it into containers and pop it in the freezer, or even into an ice cube tray, which is another good idea. Fill each of them up individually, pop that into your freezer, and you've then got individual cubes that you can use just to add a little bit of flavour to dishes as you're making them. So very versatile, very simple, and again, means you're not having to go out buying shop bought stock all the time. You can make your own from the food you've just eaten. So these vegetables have had about 30 minutes in the oven. As you can see, they're just starting to brown on the edges and the corners. For me, that's about perfect. Just want that little bit of additional flavour that the roasting gives them. Gives them a really nice depth of flavour. So we'll tip these into the pan that we're going to simmer them in, and then get the chicken stock into them. One rogue piece of butternut squash there running away. Doesn't want to be eaten. Okay, more than enough to make up for that. Once we've got these pieces in, just get our oven tray out of the way. And we're going to add in the chicken stock that we talked about earlier. I'm going to add all of this in. It's quite a lot of veg. I had already strained the chicken stock through a sieve a couple of times, so there are no little gritty bits that can sometimes be in there after you've made it. So this is now going to go onto the hob. I'm going to bring it up to a boil and then simmer it, for at least about an hour, possibly an hour and a half, and then we'll get the wand in and mix it up to a smooth soup. So the soup's been simmering now for about 1 hour. Just having a look at it, the veg has softened up really nicely. It's all looking really nicely cooked. It's got a lovely colour. It's a shame we don't have smell-o-vision, if I'm honest, because this whole kitchen is smelling amazing right now. So, switch that off, and we'll get our magic wand mixer, and we're just going to blend this through to hopefully get a nice smooth soup, no lumps. Look, if you don't have one of these, you could use a jug blender or just a normal blender attachment. If you don't have any of those, use potato masher. Just squish it up as much as you can. You'll still end up with an absolutely delicious soup. So don't go rushing out to buy these types of things if you don't have them. Use a masher, squish it down as much as you can. You'll still, as I say, end up with an absolutely delicious soup. And nothing wrong with having a few bits in it as well. So I'm just going to try and blend this down so it's nice and smooth. And for serving this, I mean, a bowl of this on a cold winter's day, just the smell of it will warm you up on its own. It's very filling, it's quite a thick soup. What I would normally do is probably just add a little swirl of either creme fraiche or double cream on top, just to make it even more silky, possibly a little bit of chopped fresh coriander. But as you can see, it doesn't take long to mix this through. It started to go fairly smooth already. Just try and get everything to melt through. And as you can see from this, that's roughly 1.5 litres of stock mixed in with the amount of veg that we put in at the beginning. You still end up with quite a good thick soup out of this. It's not watery, it's not really runny. And I say it's very, very filling. When you eat this, you will feel very, very satisfied after a bowl of this. So that's blended down. No more big lumps of veg in there. It's all nice and smooth, which is how I wanted this particular soup to be. What I will do though is I'll just grab a spoon, give this a little taste for seasoning, make sure if I need to add any more salt or pepper or anything else. So we'll just give that a little taste and see how it's come out. Now for me, personally, that's absolutely fine. I don't think we need to add any more salt, pepper or anything else into there. It's absolutely delicious. Very slight level of heat coming through, just at the back of the throat, which I think will build a little bit. So I'm not going to eat this today. I'm going to let it cool, put it in the fridge, have some tomorrow. It actually allows the flavours to build even more. Tomorrow it'll probably feel and taste a little bit spicier than it does today, which I like. I like a little bit of heat in the food. Other things to say about this: if you're not going to eat it straight away, again, let it cool down. Pop it into individual bags, 1 portion per bag, for example, or a couple if you're going to always have it and sharing with someone else. And stick it in the freezer. This will freeze, easily last 2-3 months in the freezer. Take it back out, defrost, warm it back up. You've always got lots of lovely soup available. So hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I hope you have a go at making it as well. If you do, please do share your comments and some photos of your food as well. Look forward to seeing it. Thanks.